Thomas Connery, Connery.
Good morning.
Tommy, how old are you?
Me, I'm 21.
And do you go to school?
Yes, I do.
Where do you go to school?
Central Connecticut. I'm studying finance.
And are you working this summer?
I'm self-employed. I work for myself. I do marketing.
Marketing.
Yeah.
Prior to your testimony today, have you and I met?
Yes, we have.
Why have we met?
To discuss the case and what I saw.
So I want to direct your attention to May 14th of 2022. How old were you back then?
I was 18 years old.
And were you in school?
No, I was not in school then. I graduated in 2021.
And where did you go to high school?
Shelton High School.
And at some point in time on May 14th of 2022, were you hanging out over at Tyler Rich's house?
Yes, I was.
And around what time did you get there?
It was around, I'd say 7 to 8 p.m. in that area. He told me to come over. We were going to hang out. Just a little bit of us, some of my friends and some of the friends in his grade. Well, we usually hang out in his basement, just a couple of us. And we would, just do normal stuff that, high school guys and graduate guys would do. I drove myself that night. Every time I go there, I go in the same way. I went into the left side where the side door is, to the left of the garage. I started off in the kitchen, greeted Tyler, and then we proceeded to go into the basement and hang out with the other kids that were there.
And when you got there, how many kids would you say were there at the time?
It was still relatively early, so I'd say around 10-ish, a little less.
And what kind of things were you guys doing in the basement?
Hanging out. We were just having a couple drinks.
Okay, when you say a couple drinks, what do you mean by a couple drinks?
I had a few beers that night.
You had a few beers that night?
Yes, I did.
All right. Was anybody else drinking?
Yes, they were.
Were you provided alcohol, or was it like a bring your own?
I don't recall if I was or not.
But you had 2 beers?
Yeah, I would say so.
And at some point in time, did anybody else show up to the party?
Yes, later in the night, the younger kid showed up, which was Ryan Heinz and Griffin.
You know who that is?
Yes.
Who's that?
Faison Teal.
And was he at the party that night?
Yes, he was.
Showing you stage 56. You know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Who is that?
Ryan Heinz.
Was he there that night?
Yes, he was.
Show you stage 57. You know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Who is that?
That's Jimmy McGrath.
Was he at the party?
Yes, he was.
How do you know Jimmy McGrath?
He was friends with my younger brother. They would hang out all the time. They hung out a lot when they were younger in middle school, and then as high school went along, they would hang out here and there.
And who's your younger brother?
Charlie Connery.
Was he at the party that night?
Yes, he was.
Tommy, do you know Ricky Fiola?
Yes, I do.
How do you know him?
I'm really good friends with him and his father and his mother. We grew up together once him and my brother met in middle school, maybe a little younger, 5th and 6th grade, and we became family friends through that.
And do you know if Ricky Fiola was at the party that night?
Yes, he was.
And how about Sal Perry?
Yes, he was there too.
You know him?
Yes, I do.
How do you know him?
Me and him, we grew up together playing baseball, Sean American Little League.
How about Mike Sampieri?
Yes, I know.
How do you know him?
He lives down the road from me my whole life.
Were they at the party?
Yes, he was.
Alex Bernstein, you know Alex Bernstein?
No, I do not know Alex Bernstein.
How about Jake Villalobos?
Yes, I know Jake Villalobos.
How do you know Jake?
We played football together when we were very young, and I knew him from school from then on.
Was he at the party that night?
Yes, he was.
And how about Matt Lockham?
Yes, he was
How do
there.
you know Matt?
I know him from baseball too. We started playing when we were young together.
Do you know if Matt was at the party?
Yes, he was.
Now, you say that Griffin and how do you know Griffin?
He's really good friends with my brother too.
So Griffin and Ryan showed up at the party at some point?
Yes, they
Do you
did.
recall what time it was?
It was later. I would say 9:30, 10-ish time.
And what was the lighting out like that night? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was nighttime, so it was a little bit darker, but it wasn't too dark. The moon was light, and his driveway has they had lights there too.
So when Ryan and Griffin showed up to the party, were you made aware of an incident that occurred at Lazy Brook Road?
Yes, I heard people saying that they were jumped at a St. Joe's party down the road at Lazy Brook.
Were you made aware that this happened prior to Ryan and Griffin getting to the party or after they arrived?
After they arrived.
Were you aware about a group messaging or group chat?
No, I was not aware of that in the moment. No,
Are you aware of it now?
I am aware of it now.
After the fact.
Yes.
But at the time when Griffin and Ryan got to the party, was there any talk about a group messaging that was going on?
Nothing that I heard of, but I assume there was.
Now, at some point in time in the night, did individuals who were not invited to Tyler Rich's house show up?
Yes.
Can you please tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what you remember about that?
So people showed up in a Honda Pilot. They showed up and they were parked in the far side of the road across from the driveway, and they're facing down towards a farmhouse lane.
So I'm going to show you stage 30. Is this the car you saw that night?
Yes, that is.
And with regards to stage 49, you said they parked in the road?
Yes, across from the driveway, but more towards the Adams Drive side.
So can you describe on stage 49 where you actually saw them park?
So if you're looking, do you see the sewer grate on that side? The opposite of that. Oh,
Here, so be over here.
yep, right over there. Yep,
Park somewhere over here.
correct.
Facing.
Down the road that way. Yep.
And when you heard that the car arrived, did you leave Tyler Rich's house?
Yeah, I walked out of the basement. I walked out through the Bilco doors because I heard there was people there that weren't invited, and everyone went outside. So I followed the crowd out there.
And when you went out the doors, where are the Bilco doors located?
On the far side of the house, you cannot see them in that image.
I show you States Exhibit 5. States Exhibit 5, where the Bilco doors would have been located.
Yeah, so if you see the AC unit to the right, they're behind that.
So right here,
Yes.
this
area behind the SH units.
Yep.
So if the record can reflect, he points to the clearing in the area to the right side of the house, in front of the blue truck, where you can see an AC unit. It would be behind the AC unit, I think is what he indicated.
Yes.
All right, record will reflect that. Thank you.
So when you came out of Bilko doors on the right side of the house, what path of travel did you go when you left the house? States 49. I'm going to put that back up.
So I walked along the house line, so in that grassy area between the white and the blue truck.
Okay. And then you walked down the driveway?
Yeah, but not too far. I'd say I was sitting in the middle of it, standing.
Okay. And so you didn't walk all the way down the driveway?
No,
Why didn't you walk all the way down the driveway?
because I already saw some people in the road, and I didn't want to go and get involved.
How many people would you say were outside at that moment?
It was about outside or by the car.
Well, how about by the car?
Probably about 10-ish people,
And how many people were outside in total?
probably 20-ish.
So there were around 10 people near the car and another 10 people maybe.
Yeah,
back
more
where you
people in
were?
the driveway.
And can you describe what the interaction was with regards to the people who were near the car?
So I just heard bickering back and forth. People were yelling, and it was loud. Did not hear exactly what it was, but that's all I was able to pick up from it, just arguing.
And did you observe anything about, withdrawn, do you know who went and approached the car when you were outside?
No, I do not recall exactly who.
Okay. But they were your friends.
Yes, they were my friends.
And do you recall if when they had this bickering back and forth with the individuals in the car, do you recall what, if anything, they were doing? Did they do anything to the car?
Nothing that I saw, no.
Nothing that you saw. Do you recall if anything was being done from the car?
No, I do not recall if anything.
At some point in time, withdrawn, how long did the back and forth bickering last for?
Probably a good 5 minutes.
And at some point, did the car leave?
Yes, the car sped away very fast.
Can you describe what happened as the car sped away?
So the car drove down the road towards that way, and it sped off like full speed, full throttle.
And if I'm pointing the states one that's behind you, I think you have a pointer near you. Can you show the ladies and gentlemen of the jury where it sped off to?
So it was here, right here,
Yep.
and it sped off this way.
Okay. So if the record can reflect, he was motioning down Laurel Glen Drive towards Farmhouse Lane.
Record Shelton.
Where were you when you saw the car drive away?
When I was driving away, I was still in the driveway in this area.
Okay. And when the car drove down the street, did you move at that point to see where the car had gone?
No, I went back into the house at this point.
And when you went back into the house, how'd you go back into the house?
Through the Bilko doors the way I came in.
Okay. And when the car sped off down the street and you went back into the house, what did you do when you went back inside the house?
I was just talking to my friends, like, what was going on out there? Like, it's over now. Let's go back inside and hang out.
So did you hang out inside for a little bit?
Yeah, I would say 2 minutes.
And were you guys drinking still?
No, there's no drink at this point. It was so brief between the incident that went outside.
Prior to you going back inside the house, do you recall seeing the car drive back towards the house at any point?
No.
Okay. At some point in time, you say you're hanging out inside the house. Do you exit the house again?
Yes, I do.
And why do you do that?
They said they were down the road just sitting waiting, and that people didn't leave yet, and they were still on the road. So I went outside to see what was going on, and I walked out through the Bilko doors.
And when you went out through when you went out through the Bilko doors, what path of travel did you go? If you can show me in States 49, or you can use that.
Yeah. So I went out this way. I went along the tree line here, and then I was right here.
Okay. So if we're looking at States 49, man, you walked along the tree line here, and you were kind of on the side of the road near this red bush where your car was parked.
Correct.
What, if anything, did you observe down the street?
I just saw a bunch of people in the road, and it immediately just made me think, what is going on? And I just didn't want to entertain it, so I went back inside again.
Prior to the car going down the street, did you recognize anybody in the car from your vantage point in the driveway?
But yes, when I was in the driveway, I saw the kid Jack Snyder was driving it, and Lido Valle was in the back seat behind the driver's seat.
And when you say Lido Valle, does he have another name?
Yes, his real name is Raul Valle.
And is Raul Valle present in the courtroom today?
Yes, he is.
And what is he wearing?
He's wearing a black suit with a black tie.
Can you point him out?
Yes, that's him right there.
Your Honor, the record reflect the witnesses identified in this case.
Record can reflect the witness identified, Mr. Valley. Thank you.
And so when you noticed, those are the only people you noticed in the car?
Yes, those were the only people I was able to notice.
Do you know whether or not there were other people in the car?
Yes, there was other people in the car.
But you couldn't see who
I
they
couldn't
were?
see who, no.
So now the car's down the street. You're watching down the street, and you're thinking to yourself, what's going on?
Yeah, I was like, what is this going on right now?
Could you tell who was outside the car down the street?
No.
Do you know whether or not anybody from your group of friends was down the street?
There were people, but I was not able to identify who.
Okay. And how long would you say you were watching what was going on down the street?
Maybe 30 seconds.
And after 30 seconds, what did you do?
I went back inside to the bill doors.
And when you went back inside, what were you doing inside at that point?
The same thing, just kind of talking to the people about what's going on and saying that they're still out there. People are just in the road.
And how long would you say you were inside at that point?
Probably another 2 to 5 minutes.
And at some point in time, did you
exit the house for any reason?
Yes, I later exited through the doors.
And why did you do that?
I heard they came back and they were back in front of the house parked.
When you left the house, did you go outside the Bilko doors again?
Yes, I did.
And when you left the Bilko doors, tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what path of travel you walked outside the house.
So I walked out to the Bilko doors here and went right to under this tree area.
Okay, so if we're looking at States 49 again, you were under the street area here,
Correct?
right? And that would be the area in front of the blue truck in States 49.
Yes.
At some point in time, did you make your way over anywhere else in State 49?
No, not until a fight broke out.
What did you observe when you walked out of the house 14th of 2022?
I noticed that there was a group of Shelton kids face to face with who was Raul Valle and Tyler Silva,
Do you recall what they were wearing that night?
who my friends are the other kids.
What was Tyler DaSilva?
He was wearing a blue, like a baby blue jersey.
And do you recall what the defendant?
Same color, but a t-shirt.
I'm going to show you State 6, just so we understand what you're talking about here. Can you pinpoint where you were standing when you observed State 6, when you observed the initial?
Yeah, so I was standing in front of the blue truck by that mulch pile.
Okay, so if I point right here,
Yes, sir, right there.
so
The rear reflect in front of the blue truck at State 6, there is a brown mulch pile just to the left of the red bush, but obviously it's behind the red bush.
Portal noted on the record. Thank you.
So in regards to State 6, can you tell us where the defendant and DaSilva were standing?
Yeah, they were standing to the roadside of the red bush facing Shelton kids.
Around here?
Yes,
Okay, so the left, so below the red bush to the left, down in this area here.
correct. Maybe a little more to the right for your finger.
Around
Yeah,
here?
no, left more a little bit. Yeah, right there.
Okay,
There.
so it's
Right, like pointing to the left lower hand portion of the exhibit, which is in the grass area, which is down just slightly below to the left of the red bush.
All right. Court will allow the record to reflect that. Thank you.
And when you saw the defendant and Mr. DaSilva in the yard, where were they standing? Were they close to each other?
Yes, they're close.
And who was on the right? Who was on the left? Do you remember?
The driveway side was Tyler Silva, and the other side was Lido Valle.
And do you recall if any of your friends had approached them?
They approached my friends, and my friends were, yes, face to face with them.
And do you recall who out of your friends were face to face with them?
So from the driveway starting, then going to the left from the driveway was Tyler Rich, then Tyler Wood, and then Ryan Heinz at the time, who I believe was my brother.
Oh, you thought Ty Woods was your brother?
No, I thought Ryan Heinz was my brother. In that
Oh,
moment.
okay. And who was Ryan Heinz and Ty Wood closer to?
They were closer to Lido.
Okay. And Ty Rich, who was he closer to?
Tyler DaSilva, I'd say.
And when did you observe them interacting?
Yes, they were.
What was the interaction like?
It was just talking back and forth, arguing at first.
They were arguing?
It was, yeah, they were talking. They weren't being,
Was it peaceful?
I guess so, maybe. Not really. They were just arguing. So I wouldn't say peaceful, no.
Okay. And do you recall what they were arguing about?
No, I could not hear exactly what it was.
You just saw arguing.
Yes.
And when you were witnessing the arguing, can you explain how long the arguing took place for?
For the time that I was there, it was about 20 seconds, and then there was movements.
Can you describe what happens when there's movement?
Yes, so it looked as Lido Valle was to go make a punch, and then someone from Shelton threw a punch and it hit him.
You recall who punched him?
No, I didn't, but it was someone on the right side.
But you say you recall watching the defendant make a move.
Yes, his body jolted like he was going to do something.
Can you show us physically what you saw? Like, can you see?
Yeah, he was like this. He was like went back.
He like cocked like he was
Yeah,
gonna-
it's like that. Yes.
Okay. With his right hand? He cocked with his right hand?
Yes.
Now, after you said someone from Shelton threw a punch,
Yes.
do
As
you know
that
who
was
they
going.
punched?
Do I know who he punched?
Yeah.
Yes, Lido.
Can you describe what happened next?
Yeah. So right when that happened, I knew there was a fight breaking out. So I ran over from the mulch pile into that fight. And then as that happened, I went to the far left which was Ryan Heinz was standing, and I pushed him and Lido were going at it at that moment. I pushed him and Lido away from each other, but I ended up taking his place. So now it was Lido and me face to face with each other.
Why did you run over into the fight?
Well, one, because I immediately thought he was my brother, since he was standing next to Ty Wood, who's my brother's best friend. And I knew that there was a fight going on, and I didn't want to see people fighting.
So, what did you witness about the interaction between the defendant and who you now know as Ryan Heinz prior to you going over?
They were just tussling, no, like just pushing each other, like hand movement, no like full punches.
Now, prior to you going over to push Ryan Heinz out of the way, did you have a weapon on you when you went over?
No, I did not.
Now, when you went over, you thought Ryan was your brother?
Yes.
When you said you took his place?
Yes.
What does that mean? Describe what
I pushed him and Lido away from each other. And as that happened, I kind of mostly pushed Ryan, and I was now face to face with Lido, and he was to the side of me.
Okay, so when you say face to face, if the microphone is Lido, are you like this?
Yes.
Okay, so you push Ryan out of the way with You get in between them. Push
Yeah,
Ryan
in
out.
between them, yes.
Now, when you push Ryan out of the way, describe what happens next.
So me and Raul had made eye contact, and he slipped back, so he was kind of down like waist level with me.
So he was like on like a knee.
Yeah, something like that. Not a knee, but bent over, like he was slipping, holding himself up. And he looked at me, and then he proceeded to. At the time, I thought he was punching me in the leg, which he was stabbing me.
So wait, so I want you to.
You want me to demonstrate?
Yeah, let's demonstrate. You step down there. So if I'm you, I'm standing like this. Yeah. He's like this. Like
Under this.
1, okay, 2, 3, okay. At the time when he was hitting you in your left leg,
Yes.
did you know you were being stabbed?
No, I did not, but I felt like being punched.
Okay. And did you have any other feelings when this was happening other than being?
Yeah, I was able to feel like almost like a sharp pop, but I didn't acknowledge it was a stab. I didn't know in the moment, but it did feel stronger than a fist.
And at that point in time, when that happened and you had withdrawn, did the defendant hit you more than 4 times at that point?
Not that I know, no.
And after he hit you 4 times, what happened next?
So as he was hitting me, I was pushing him away, trying to get him to stop hitting me.
How were you trying to push him away?
Do you want me to just demonstrate? So you are Nate, and I'm like this. Heinz is here in this moment, and I was like this. Yeah.
And did they move away from you at that point?
After the times he was punching me and him for some reason just separated. The fight just stopped, and I just walked back, and he walked away towards the road.
Do you recall where the defendant went to after that?
No, but he went towards the curbside.
After you and him separated, what do you recall about the things you went through after that?
So in that moment, I kind of just stood there and sat around I was in shock. My body, I didn't really have anything that I fully did after that I could, recall. I was just sitting there. My body was bleeding, and I was just looking around, like trying to soak in what's going on.
Did you realize you were bleeding? When did you realize you were bleeding?
But when the car eventually drove away, I realized I was bleeding.
And when you realized you were, who did somebody bring it to your attention that you were bleeding?
No, I brought it to my attention because I knew it was drizzling out, but I didn't think it was pouring. And I was like, why is my leg soaked? I feel like I'm covered in water. And then I took a flashlight out from my phone and I put it on my leg. And then I realized my leg from my quad all the way down to my ankle was covered in blood. There was no skin to see, and my shoes were covered in blood.
And when you realized that when you were stabbed at that point, what happened?
I immediately was like, I need stitches. And then I dropped to my right hip and laid there waiting for people to come over.
And who came over to help you when you dropped to your hip?
The first person there was my cousin, Will Berardi.
Your cousin Will Berardi?
Yes.
And did he render aid to you?
Immediately, no. I was like, call 911, call 911.
And did somebody call 911?
Yes, he called 911.
And when he was calling 911, did you notice anything else about your surroundings?
So when I was on my legs, I was on my right side, laying down like this, looking up towards Will, saying, call 911. And I looked over to my left, and I saw Jimmy McGrath standing there by himself by the basketball hoop.
And what did you notice about Jimmy McGrath?
He was standing there by himself, and I was like, Jimmy, are you okay? And there was no response, but he slowly pulled up his shirt to see that he had a blood coming out. And as I looked at that, I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And there was no response, and he collapsed to the floor. Like, he didn't put himself down, he just fell.
And when he fell, what, if anything, happened next?
People started running over to him because I was like, Jimmy's not okay. And he sat there and bled out for a while.
Now, when you were fighting, when the defendant was hitting you in the leg, did you observe any type of weapon at that point?
I saw something black in his hand, but I didn't realize it was a knife or anything. I didn't think anything of it. But I saw a hole in his hand as like a black spot.
And did you notice any of your other friends that were injured that night? Did you see any of them get stabbed?
No, I did not.
And when Jimmy fell to the ground, did you say anything to your friends with regards to helping Jimmy?
I was telling people to go help him, yes.
First responders arrived at the scene?
Yes, first responders arrived sometime later. The officer came up to me, and he was asking me if I needed assistance. And he gave me a tourniquet, and he put a tourniquet on my leg, as I already had some homemade tourniquets on my leg.
Of course, that can help. I'll show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 77 for identification. You recognize 77?
Yes, I do.
What is State 77?
Me on the ground with a tourniquet on my leg and another homemade tourniquet and stab wounds.
Is this a screenshot or a picture of what your leg looked like on the night in question?
Yes, it is.
I'll show you State 73. Recognize 73?
Yes, I do.
What is 73?
That is my leg sometime later, weeks later.
And is this a good representation of what your leg looked like weeks later after the incident?
Yes.
I'll show you State 74. Recognize 74?
Yes, I do.
What is State 74?
That is my leg in November, I believe. This recent November.
And does that accurately reflect what your leg looks like?
Yes.
After post-injury in this case?
Yes, it does.
State 75, do you recognize 75?
Yes, that was my leg the next morning.
The next morning after this incident?
Yes.
Does this picture accurately reflect what your leg looked like the next morning?
Yes, it does.
State 76, you recognize 76?
Yes, I do.
And what is 76?
It is my leg a month later, still bleeding.
And does this accurately reflect what your leg looked like a month to the day after the incident on May
Yes.
14th? State 78, you recognize 78?
Yes, I do.
And what is state 78?
That's my leg a couple of days later and bruised and bleeding.
And does this accurately reflect what your leg looked like after the incident a few days later?
Yes.
State 79, you recognize state 79?
Yep.
And what is state 79?
That's my leg in November, this recent November.
This recent November? And does this accurately reflect what the left side of your leg looks like from this past November?
Yes, it does.
And finally, states 80, do you recognize 80?
Yes.
And what is states 80?
This is my leg recent November too.
And does this accurately reflect what the back portion of your left leg looked like
Yes.
last November? Now, prior to your testimony today, were you able to review a video in relation to this case?
Yes.
And that video, in reviewing that video, do you recall whether or not that video was shot at the beginning of the fight or the middle of the fight or at the end?
It was middle towards end, was not the beginning.
And in your review of the video of the fight, do you know whether or not when this video starts, based on your review of it, can you determine if you were already stabbed at this point, or are you stabbed during the video or after the video?
I believe I was stabbed before the video.
Before the video starts?
Yes.
Sorry. Can we just- So when that video starts, the fight had already been going on.
Yes.
How long did the fight go on, or do you think it took?
In total, 45 seconds to a minute, if that.
That video was about 17 seconds. There was about maybe 30 seconds that happened prior to the video started.
Maybe a little less, 20.
Now, we just went over these pictures. I wanted to give a quick opportunity to mark. I'm going to show you now. Let's show you what we marked States Exhibit 77. You see 77? Tommy?
Yes, I do.
So was this picture taken the night that you got stabbed at Tyler Rich's house?
Yes.
And I see that there's these things on your legs here and here. Can you tell us what these are?
Yeah, so the black one is a tourniquet that was provided by the police officer.
It's right here.
Yes. And the one on the left, right there, that is my t-shirt.
So you took your T-shirt off,
Yes, when I went to the ground, I took my t-shirt off.
and when the cops got there, they put the top one on?
Yes.
Tommy, I'm going to show you States Exhibit 24. That's been marked as a full exhibit. Do you see that?
Yes.
What is States 24? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, that is my shirt, one shoe, and one sock.
Okay, you see how it looks like it appears to be ripped.
Yes.
Why is it ripped?
So at first, we only knew there was one stab wound. So what we did was my friend Brett Wadico ripped my shirt to put that one on. And then later to realize there was a lot more stab wounds. So we needed to cover them up and try to cover as many as we can.
So you took your shirt off, you wrapped part of it around you, and at some point was that left on the front lawn of 43 Little?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to go through these pictures with you. This is State 73. What time of year was this taken?
This was weeks later. I would say this is probably the last week of May, 2 weeks after it.
You don't have any stitches in your leg. How come?
The doctor only gave me 2 stitches. He gave one on the really big one and then one on the top left one because they said my wounds were too deep and they were dirty. So they could not stitch them properly.
So they wanted, what was the purpose? Do you know the purpose of leaving them on?
So I wouldn't get infected to stay clean.
State 75. When was this picture taken?
This was the next morning.
And looks like here, your left quad is affected.
Yeah, it's bulged up and swollen and bleeding.
State 78. When was this picture taken?
That's a couple days later. That's bruising and still bleeding.
State 76.
That's
Actually has the date on.
yeah. So that's in 1 month later, and I was still bleeding in that top one.
State 79. This was taken this past November.
Yeah. So that's the entrance wound where the scar is, and then above it is the deformed quad from the actual wound right there.
So do you have an issue with your left quad as a result of this?
Yeah, it's deformed. There's no lower left part of the quad.
So do you look at yourself in the mirror, you look at your legs,
They're very imbalanced. Yes.
you're very balanced.
Yes. The right one is bigger than the left one.
Do you work out?
Yes.
How often do you work out?
5 or 6 days a week.
Have you hit legs hard?
I'm trying.
Yeah. And has it made a difference as a result of the
Nope.
States 80? It's the rear portion of your leg. Again, scarring as a result of this incident.
Yep. And then you can see the indent
Back in
too.
November.
Yep. And you can also see the indent in the leg.
This is State 74. This is the most recent
Yeah.
picture of your scar. Now, with regards to your friends that were at the Ridge's house that night, when you were outside and the fight broke out, how many people would you say were outside at that moment?
15. 10 to 15.
And how many people were actually involved in the fight?
From what I saw, it only looked like 3.
Fair to say that everybody else not involved?
Yeah, in the
What were they
beginning.
doing? Do you know what they were doing just prior to the fight?
No, I did not.
You know what they were doing during the fight?
No, not during the fight, but I've seen the video. I've seen more.
It appears, what does it appear most people are doing?
Most people are sitting watching.
And with regards to the lighting that night, when the fight, just before the fight started and during the fight, were you able to see in front of you,
Yeah, I was able to see in front of me.
to recognize people you knew?
Yeah, I was able to recognize faces.
Did anybody have any lighting or cameras or anything else?
Yeah, there was flashlights on.
Call to anybody. We know now that there was a video of the fight. In the moment, though, was anybody videoing it?
No, I did not know it was being videoed.
Mr. You stayed 61. They still shot from the video you just watched. Have you seen this before?
Yes, I have.
And this individual right here with the white shirt and pink shorts, with the camera, the phone in their hand, you know who this is?
Yeah, that looks like Ricky Fuel.
State 63. You've seen this still shot in the video?
Yeah.
This individual here with the green sweatshirt.
Yeah, that's Ryan Heinz.
Who's this person here with the to the right of Ryan Heinz with the white shirt and black shorts?
Sal Perry.
This guy here with the jeans on and no shirt on. Do you know who that is?
Oh, that's Alex Bernstein.
This guy right here with the black shirt, red hat, jeans. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, it's Michael Samperry.
Do you know who this is on their knees with their shirt pulled up?
Yeah, that's Tyler DaSilva.
Do you know Tyler DaSilva?
No, I do not.
Did you know him before that night?
I knew of him from his cousins. I knew his cousins.
Where did you know his cousins from?
I grew up playing baseball with them.
Let's show you State 64. You know who this individual is right here on the right with the white shirt, black shorts?
Yeah, that's my brother.
And again, 65, big brother.
Yes.
66. Do you know who this individual is? Looks like just to the right of Ryan Heinz with the white shirt, tan shorts.
Yeah, that Jacob Villalobos.
And this guy right here with no shirt on, with appears to be camouflage shorts, white shirt hanging up.
Yeah, it's Matthew Lockovich.
And this guy right here with the blue shirt, white pants. You know what that is?
Yes, Jimmy McGrath.
This is State 7. And this person who appears to be shoving somebody, you know who that is?
Yeah, that's Jacob Villalobos.
State 68. This guy right here with the jeans on and the shirt pulled up going towards the street. You know who that is?
Yeah, that's Tyler DaSilva.
How about this individual here to his left?
That's Raul Valle.
That's the defendant.
Yes, it is.
69. The individual in the street. You know who that is?
Yes, that's Tyler DaSilva.
And the individual standing right here to the left in the dark shirt and white pants. Do you know who that is?
Yes, that's Jimmy McGrath.
Now, as a result of your wounds from May 14th of 2022, can you tell us about what other treatment you had to go through? Tell us about your recovery.
So the first night in the hospital, I was there for some time, and I wanted to stay the night because they weren't giving me stitches. So I thought I was going to bleed out. I didn't know. I'm not a doctor, so I didn't know how much blood is too much blood. So I was very scared, and I wanted to stay in the hospital. But they told me I was going to be good to go home. So they gave me the 2 stitches after asking, and they sent me home. And then exactly 1 week later after the incident, I stood up and I passed out and had to go back to the hospital.
And what happened when you went back to the hospital?
They had to, re-treat me, just clean me up. And they told me that I was really deficient in iron in my blood. So that's why I was passing out. So I had to go back and get that.
Do you know why you were deficient in iron?
No, but I'm assuming it's from lack of blood, lost blood.
And what was your recovery time like as far as were you able to walk right away?
I was in a wheelchair for some time, I think 7 to 10-ish days. And then I was crutching around after. And I was crutching for a while. I couldn't walk for over a month, maybe like about a month.
Were you bedridden at all?
I was bedridden for 3 weeks, no movement. I couldn't bend my leg. It was stiff. And when all the bruising was happening, I couldn't do anything.
You were in fact still bleeding a month later.
Oh, yeah.
Show you States Exhibit 55. Do you know who that individual is?
Yes, that's me.
And do you recall about when this picture was taken?
A couple of days later, maybe the next day.
Now, have you had any other effects as a result of this besides the physical effects?
Mentally, I mean, it was really hard to get through for the first month. My parents would try to help me, and I was telling them to get off of me. I wanted to try to do things on my own, but I couldn't. So I was frustrated with everybody around me, and then frustrated when I was trying to start to learn to walk again. And mentally, I mean, it hurts, but that's really it.
And on May 14th of 2022, did you give any type of statement to the police that night, or did you do it the next day?
I did the next day.
And was that the only statement you gave in regards to this case?
No.
You gave multiple statements?
Yeah, I gave 2.
And what you told police, is it any different today than what you told police back then?
I'm mistaken that I mistake my brother with Ryan Heinz.
I have no further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Attorneys.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Connery.
Good afternoon.
We've never met before.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Sorry, it is under these circumstances. I want to go over your testimony and just review a few things. But let's start kind of close to where we left off with some of these photographs.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to show you what has been marked as States Exhibit 63. You see that on your screen there?
Yes, I do.
And you identified this person as being Ryan Heinz, correct?
Yes.
And he's wearing black shorts with a white stripe, you'd agree?
Yeah.
And a green hooded sweatshirt.
Yes.
And this person next to him, you identified that person as being Sal Perry.
Yes.
And the person on the ground identified that as being Tyler DaSilva, correct?
Correct.
You told us before that Mr. Heinz was fighting with Mr. Valle, correct?
Yes, I did.
And in this photo, you'd agree that Mr. Heinz is actually over near Mr. DaSilva, correct?
Correct.
And in fact, you can't see Mr. Valle in that picture, can you?
No.
Do you see your brother anywhere in that picture?
No, not in that one. No.
You see Alex Bernston here.
Yes.
And then I'm going to show you what is States Exhibit 64. You still see Alex Bernston there?
Yep.
You see Ryan Heinz here, correct?
Correct.
And you see your brother here, correct?
Correct.
Where are you at the time this picture was taken?
So I am behind that crowd, towards the not towards the curb, but behind that crowd, so away from the driveway.
You are behind this crowd towards the driveway,
No. Like directly behind that crowd. Like you cannot see me.
closer to the pile of mulch that you described earlier.
No. Like if towards the other property line, so directly behind it from our point of view. The pile of mulch is to the left in this angle.
Okay. This is your brother Charlie here.
Correct.
And you are somewhere behind Charlie and this other unidentified individual.
No, I'm behind the Alex Bernstein angle.
You think you're behind Alex Bernstein?
Yes,
How far behind him do you think you were at that time?
5 to 10 feet.
Did you see Faison Teal?
No, I did not.
Did you see Faison at any point that evening?
No. Well, during the evening, yes, but not during the fights.
And you see Mr. DaSilva in this photo, correct?
Yeah, you could see him a little bit.
You see that Mr. Bernstein appears to have his hand somewhat on Mr. DaSilva, right?
Yes.
And when this photo was taken, you're behind Mr. Bernstein.
Yes.
Where was Mr. Valle?
In the moment he was towards the road.
He was towards the road.
Yes.
And who was around Mr. Valle?
I do not recall.
But you recall seeing Mr. Valle?
Yes.
Was he by himself?
After he was with me, I do not know where he went besides towards the road.
So when this photograph is taken, or with the image captured here, this is a still shot from the video, right?
Yes.
This image captured here, you think you had already separated Mr. Heinz from Mr. Valle at that point?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So at this point, Mr. Heinz has already been stabbed.
Yes.
You've already been stabbed.
Yes.
When you were stabbed over behind Mr. Bernstein.
Yes.
And then after Mr. Heinz was stabbed, he got up and he came over to the fight where Mr. DaSilva was.
That's what it looks like, yes.
Is that what you saw?
No, I didn't see him.
And at this point, are you already laying down on the ground on your right
No,
leg?
I'm not.
What are you doing at this point?
Standing in the back, just in shock.
I'm going to show you now States 65. Can you see that on your screen?
Yes, I can.
And do you still see Mr. Heinz here with the black shorts and the green sweatshirt?
Yes, I do.
And can you tell us who's beside him?
No, I can't tell on that.
This is your brother, Charlie.
Yes.
Who's behind him?
I think that is Joy Romano.
Joey Romano. Where is Will Berardi in this picture?
Nowhere to be found.
Now I'm going to show you States 66. You see that photo?
Yes.
Do you see Mr. Vines here with the black shorts and the green hooded sweatshirt?
Yes, I do.
And he's still standing over top of Mr. DaSilva, who's blocked by Mr. Villalobos and
Yes.
Mr. Lakovich, correct?
Yes.
And you see Jimmy McGrath here to the right, correct?
Yes.
Wearing a navy blue shirt and white shorts, correct?
Correct.
That evening, you yourself were wearing a dark shirt, correct?
Yes.
Was it navy blue?
Yes, it was.
Did it have anything on it?
Not that I recall now.
No graphic on the back?
Nope.
And I'm going to now show you States Exhibit 67. Can you see that on your screen?
Yes.
And do you still see Mr. Heinz' black shorts with the white trim at the bottom?
Yes.
And you would agree that this is showing Mr. Villalobos is shoving Mr. DaSilva into the road, correct?
Yes.
And do you see a figure here with a dark shirt on?
Yes.
Do you think that could be you, sir?
Not that I know, no.
You see what you think is Mr. McGrath here to the right again, correct?
Yes.
You testified here that you were only engaged in fighting with Mr. Valle, correct?
Correct.
You were never engaged in the fight that was going on with Mr. DaSilva.
No, I was not.
Okay. So let's go back to the beginning of the night. All right. You told us that you'd started off hanging out over at Tyler Rich's house sometime between 7 and 8 p.m., right?
Correct.
Because he had told you to come over and hang out at that time, right?
Correct.
When you got there, You went down to the basement after going first to the kitchen.
Yes.
Correct. What did you do in the kitchen?
Said hi, greeted each other.
Who was there in the kitchen?
I don't recall exactly, but a couple of our friends.
Okay. Was there any drinking going on in the kitchen?
No.
You said you went down to the basement and just normal things were going on, correct?
Correct.
And those normal things, that involved drinking down there, right?
Correct.
You would typically go over to Mr. Rich's house and there would be underage drinking going on, right?
Yes.
And you couldn't tell us, you didn't recall who provided that liquor, correct?
I cannot recall.
But you said you think you had 2 beers, right?
Yeah.
Just 2?
Yes.
You sure about that?
Yes.
How can you be so sure that it was only 2?
That's what I recall.
Could it have been more?
Not that I know of, no.
And you said when you got there that there were 10 kids there, right?
Yes, about.
Were there any drinking games being played downstairs?
No.
Just music, hanging out,
Yeah, music,
drinking some
no.
beers. Did anybody have anything other than beers?
Not that I know of, no.
And you said that later that night, younger kids showed up, right?
Correct.
And those younger kids were Griffin Marcinzik and Ryan Heinz, right?
Yes.
And you had some inkling, did you not, that they were on their way over because your brother Charlie had picked them up to bring them there, right?
He did, but I did not know that.
He didn't let you know ahead of time, hey,
No.
picking these folks up?
Nope.
Had Charlie been at 43 Laurel Glen Drive at any point prior to bringing Mr. Marcinzik and Mr. Heinz?
Yes, I believe so.
While you were also there?
I believe so, yes.
So you were there, he was there, he left at some point to go get Ryan and Griffin.
Yes.
He didn't tell you he was leaving to go
No.
meet them, but you had seen him there that night, right?
Yeah, I've seen him there.
Was he also drinking?
Not before he left,
Not before he left.
No.
After he left, he was drinking?
I guess. Maybe.
Well, did you see him drink?
No, I did not.
So you don't know whether or not he was
No, I do not know.
You assume he was drinking because that's what was typically done.
Yeah, I assume. Yeah.
Anybody ever drink to the point of getting sick there?
No.
Not on that night.
Not on that night, no.
That is the shirt and a shoe that you were wearing that night, correct?
Yes.
That is State's Exhibit 24. And what color shorts were you wearing that night?
Think gray.
And are those gray shorts you were wearing reflected here in State's Exhibit 77?
Yes.
They some sort of a sweatsuit material?
Yeah, they're cotton.
You identified for us earlier a couple of photographs I'm showing you right now with a Exhibit 57. Do you see that, sir?
Yes, I do.
And you identified that as being Jimmy McGrath, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. McGrath is wearing the same shirt and shorts as we see later on in the video, correct?
Yeah.
You weren't there when that photo was taken, were you?
No.
Do you know whose home that is?
Yes.
Whose home is that?
That's Mr. Jesus' home.
Mr. DeJesus.
Yes.
And who is he to you?
He is a family friend and a father figure to people.
He's a family friend and a father figure to people. How old?
I don't know. I don't know his age. I'd say the 50s.
Mr. DeJesus is in his 50s.
Yeah.
And is this also a place where drinking goes on a regular occasion?
Yes.
You see a Bud Light there in the photograph?
Yeah.
You weren't there that night at Mr. DeJesus.
No.
Do you know Tanner Chernowski?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Tanner Chernowski?
We grew up playing football together when we were young.
Did you see him there that night?
I do not recall seeing him, no.
You don't recall seeing Mr. Chernowski that evening?
No.
Do you hear him in the video that we watched of the fight?
In the video?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you hear him doing in that video?
Saying, yes, sir.
Do you recall hearing him say that when the fight was going on?
No.
So Mr. Heinz and Mr. Marcinzik show up with your brother around what time?
I would say 9:30, 10ish.
And once they arrived, shortly thereafter, you learned that Mr. Heinz claimed that he had been jumped over at a party earlier that night at Five Look, right?
Yes, I heard that.
And what was the reaction of the folks in the basement at that point?
Who did it?
I'm sorry?
Who jumped you? Why were you jumped?
So they started to ask, who did it?
Yeah, who and why?
And then once they asked who did it, shortly thereafter, they started texting the people that they thought did it, correct?
That's what I heard, but I did not know that night.
You didn't see anybody texting?
No, I did not know that.
You didn't hear from anybody that, hey, we're trying to get these kids to come over here?
No, I did not know that.
You didn't see Griffin Marcin's taking a photograph of the address and sending it out on a group chat?
No.
Did you see Griffin Marcinzik that evening?
Yes, I did.
What did you see him doing?
He was in the basement hanging out.
Just hanging out?
Yes.
You didn't see him on his phone?
I mean, everybody's always on their phone. He was probably on it. That's what I thought.
Did you see him on it?
Not that I recall, no.
And you don't recall Mr. Marcinzik, Mr. Heinz, your brother telling you that they were texting with these kids that they claimed did this to them?
No, I did not know there was a text.
Did you hear from anybody that they were trying to get these kids to come there?
Not that I know of, but probably, I'd say that.
What do you mean, not that you know of, but probably yes?
That people were talking about that there was something going on, but I didn't know exactly that they were getting them to come over.
What did you think they were talking about when they said something was going on?
I was staying out of it. I'm not involved in the younger kids' situation.
That was just the younger kids' situation?
It wasn't my friend's situation, no.
The other kids weren't talking about this as well?
They were not talking about it, no. They heard about it, but they weren't going on about it.
And so it was a surprise to you then when the Honda Pilot showed up outside.
Oh yeah, it was.
Nobody was outside waiting that time?
Not that I knew of.
And you heard that the car had showed up, right?
Yes.
Who did you hear that from?
I don't recall who.
Just someone said the St. Joe's kids were outside, right?
They said somebody was outside. Yes.
Right. And someone said that, but you can't tell us who that was.
No, I don't know who.
How did they know to look outside to see that somebody was out there?
It was probably related to.
It's speculation.
Sustained.
Was anybody looking outside to see if there was a car arriving?
Objection.
I know.
No.
It's been answered, and it seems sufficient that he didn't now allow it to stand.
So you don't recall who said someone's here?
No.
But then everybody got up and went outside as a group together, correct?
People went outside. Yes.
Well, you say people went outside. Who went outside?
I don't know exactly who, but people went outside.
Who was in front of you?
I don't recall.
Was there someone in front of you?
I don't recall.
Was there someone behind you?
I don't recall.
Was there someone to your side?
I don't recall.
Did you walk outside by yourself?
I walked outside.
By yourself?
I don't recall.
You do recall that there was a group of you and you said at least 10 people were by the car and 10 people were in the driveway, right?
Yes.
But you don't recall who any of those people were.
I don't recall who I went out with. No.
These were all very good friends of yours that you had grown up with and played sports with since you were little.
Yes.
You can't recall who any of them were.
It wasn't important to me at the time, so no.
Wasn't important to you that your brother was going outside towards this car that you didn't know anything about?
I didn't know my brother was going outside.
You didn't see your brother outside?
No.
You can't tell us anybody that you saw outside.
There's people outside. I don't know the specifics of who was where and what was what.
How close was the nearest person to you while you were standing in the driveway?
Probably me to the judge.
And there were 10 of you in the driveway?
About, yeah.
Who were the other 9?
I don't recall
It's
exactly.
asked and answered.
It has been asked and answered, counsel. I'll sustain the objection.
There were 10 people by the car?
Yes.
Can you tell us who any of them were?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
Did you see Tyler Rich by the car?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained. He's already answered. He doesn't know, counsel.
Did you see anybody reach into the front driver's side window?
No, I did not.
Did you see anybody put their upper body into the front driver's side window?
No, I did not.
The 10 people that were around the car, they were surrounding the car, right?
They weren't surrounding it. They were on one side of the car. From what I
Only on one side of the car?
from my vision, yes.
How far away from the car would you say you were?
It's about 25 feet, 30 feet.
25 to 30 feet away?
Yeah, maybe a little farther.
Further than that even?
Yeah.
35, 40 feet away?
30.
You told us all you could hear was bickering, right?
Correct.
Did you hear anybody say somebody was flashing a knife?
I don't recall hearing that.
Did you see anybody flashing a knife?
No.
Did you see anybody throw anything from the vehicle?
No, I did not.
Did you see anybody throw anything at the vehicle?
No, I did not.
Did you hear a smash or a shattering sound?
No, I did not.
Did you see the car being rocked by the 10 people that were surrounding it?
No, I did not.
Did you see anybody put hands on the car?
No, I did not.
Were you watching this whole thing the entire time?
No.
What were you doing?
Probably engaged, talking to other friends.
So your attention was back and forth from the car to your friends?
In that moment, yes.
But you're sure that you looked over at that car and you saw Jack Snyder driving and Raul Valle in the car as well.
Yes.
Were you familiar with Jack Snyder?
Not really. I've seen photos of him on social medias.
So you couldn't identify any of your friends that were around the car, but you'd seen photos of Jack Snyder before, and you could tell that that was him from 30 feet away.
Yeah, I saw people on social media from other times.
Okay. Were you familiar with Raul Valle?
Yes.
Had you known him just from social media like Jack Snyder, or had you had interactions with him?
No interaction, just knew him from social media.
So you knew him from social media, and again, you could tell that that was him from 30 feet away.
Yeah.
But you couldn't tell who your friends were that were around the car.
No, I was able to tell from his hair.
Did you see Faison Teal?
No,
Did you see Jamie McGrath?
not in that moment, no.
Who were you talking to in the driveway?
I don't know.
You said the bickering lasted 5 minutes or so, correct?
About, yeah.
And then without any other interaction between the vehicle, just the bickering, it sped off towards Farmhouse Lane, correct?
Correct.
And you stayed in the driveway, correct?
I went inside.
Well, you were still in the driveway, and then you went back into the house through the Bilco doors, right?
I went into the Bilko doors, yes.
Who did you go back into the house with?
I don't recall who exactly.
Was it just you?
Probably.
When you got down into the basement, how many people were in there?
I don't recall.
Do you recall anybody that was in the basement?
No, not really.
Did you think about calling the cops at that point?
No,
Why not?
because I thought they had left. They sped away.
Didn't feel like it was a threat and you should call the cops?
No, they were told to leave, and they sped away, so they left.
And if you called the cops and they came and they found out that there was some underage drinking going on, that might be a problem, right?
Objection. That calls for speculation.
I'll allow it. You can answer.
So you didn't want to call the cops because you didn't want them to come and get everybody in trouble. Is that fair to say?
No.
When you went back inside, you told us you talked with your friends about the incident, right?
So we briefly talked about it, not a full conversation. More of mimicking it. Like, what was that?
Mimicking it.
Just saying, like, Why did that happen? Why is that important?
Was there some talk about these guys are pussies? They didn't even get out of the car?
No,
None of that.
no,
Did you see Griffin Marcinzik?
no,
Did you see Ryan Heinz?
no,
Did you see Faison Teal?
no,
Did you see Matthew Lokovich?
no,
Did you see Michael Sampieri?
nope,
Did you see Sal Perry?
nope,
Did you see Jacob Villalobos?
nope,
Did you see Tanner Chernowski?
no,
Did you see Charlie Connery?
no,
You were all alone in that basement?
no. There's older kids my age and girls my age.
Oh, okay. Who were they?
I don't recall exactly who.
And you told us that you were down there for about 10 minutes. There was no drinking going on at that point, right?
I said 2 to 5 minutes.
I'm sorry?
I said like 5 minutes.
You said 5 minutes
About, yeah.
that you were down in the basement?
Yeah.
You don't recall telling us just earlier when you were speaking with the state's attorney that you were down there for 10 minutes?
No, I said 5, I believe.
5 minutes, no drinking going on?
No.
You were talking to some folks, but you can't tell us who.
I don't recall who, no.
And then you exited the house again, correct?
Correct.
You said that was because people claimed the car was outside still waiting, right?
Yep.
Who were those people?
I don't recall. It's just people.
More than one?
People were saying it, yeah.
People were saying it.
Yeah.
But you can't tell us who.
I don't recall who exactly.
But whoever it was that told you this, it grabbed your attention enough that though you don't remember them, you do remember them going outside to see what was going on, right?
Yes.
And when you went outside, could you see the car when you first came out the door?
No.
You had to go down along the tree line, correct?
Correct.
Over to where your car was by the far end of the tree line, right?
Correct, yeah.
And you looked down the street, right?
Yep.
Did you see Faison Teal?
No.
He wasn't there in the yard?
No. That I saw.
Kind of hard to miss Faison, right?
Why? I didn't see him.
You didn't see him at all.
No.
He wasn't there in the yard.
No, I was by myself along the tree line and right into where my car was.
And you didn't see anybody else in the yard.
No, I didn't even look for that.
You looked down the street, you told us, and you saw people down there, right?
Yeah.
Who were those people?
I couldn't tell they were far away.
Did you see the car down there?
Yes, I did.
Could you tell that it was the car?
Same car, yeah.
How could you tell that?
It was the same SUV car with a Honda facing this way. I know the structure of the car.
Well, it wasn't the only car that was in the street that night, was it?
The only one I saw.
That was the only car that you saw?
Yes, when it became
There weren't other cars parked along both sides of the street, up and down?
Well, where the cars were parked at the house, yes, but not down where that car was.
That was the only car that was down there.
That I saw, yeah.
And what was the lighting like?
There was streetlights that way, and there was also flashlights in people's phones. It wasn't too dark. It was not dark at all.
Did you see a group of Shelton High kids going down the street chasing that car?
They were already down there by the time I viewed it. They weren't chasing.
What were they doing?
I couldn't hear or see how far what they were doing exactly.
You couldn't hear or see what they were doing.
Not exactly, but I saw people.
Who did you see?
It was too far to judge.
Did you see any fighting going on?
Down there, no.
Did you see anybody throwing anything?
No.
Did you see anybody spraying anyone in the face with a can of PB Blaster?
No.
Did you ever hear about a can of PB Blaster that night?
No, not that night.
Did you see Tyler Rich anywhere?
In that moment, no. Later, yes.
How many people did you see in the Shelton High kid group that was down the street?
They were scattered through the road, so I wasn't counting.
How many would you estimate were down there?
I don't know. I never thought to count how many people were down there.
No, but you went back inside and you told everybody what you saw, right?
I went inside and I was like, they're down there, sitting there. That's all.
Like that, calm and just, they're down there, they're sitting there.
Sure, yeah.
That's how you told the folks?
I don't recall exactly.
Who was it that you told?
I don't recall who.
Who was in the basement at that point?
The older crowd.
Who's the older crowd?
Kids my age. So the kids who graduated in 2021.
Like who?
The girls as like Michaela Holton and them. And then my cousin Will.
So it was just you, Will, and Michaela Holton and another girl that were in the basement at that point?
No, there's a little more people, but I wasn't engaging with them. So I wasn't picking up on who it was.
Where was your brother at this point?
I don't know.
And again, you told us that you heard that they came back, right?
Correct.
Who said they came back?
I don't know who.
How did you hear that they came back?
Someone said it.
How did they say it?
They came back.
Like that?
Yes.
They just calmly said they came back.
They said they came back.
You can't tell us who that was.
I don't recall who it was.
You're sure you were down in the basement?
Yes.
You didn't see Faison Teal down there?
No.
You didn't see Tyler Rich down there?
No.
You didn't see Matthew Lokovich down there?
No.
You didn't see Alex Bernson down there?
Nope.
Didn't see Michael Sampieri down there?
No.
Didn't see Sal Perry down there?
Nope.
Didn't see your brother down there?
No.
Didn't see Ryan Heinz down there?
No.
In any event, you went back outside once you heard that they were there.
Correct.
Why did you go back outside at that point?
Because I heard they were back and I was curious to see what was going on.
Did you go out by yourself?
Yes.
Nobody else was with you.
No, I went alone.
So when you got outside, people were already there in the yard.
Correct.
You went to the tree area in front of the blue truck in the exhibit that you were shown, correct?
Correct. By the mulch pile.
By the mulch pile. And you stayed there until the fight broke out, you told us.
Yeah.
And when you came out, you saw a group of Shelton High kids face to face with Tyler DaSilva and Raul Valle, correct?
Correct.
Who were those kids that you saw face to face with Tyler DaSilva?
Tyler Rich was on the right. Ty Wood was in the middle. And then I thought was my brother Charlie Connor on the left, but that was Ryan Heinz.
That was it. There were just 3 kids that were there.
Face to face. Face to face, yes.
Okay.
Those kids in the driveway who I did not identify.
Only these 3 kids that you saw were in the yard.
That's all I saw, yes.
You didn't see Faison Teal in the yard?
No.
You didn't see Alex Bernson in the yard?
No.
Didn't see Matthew Lokovich in the yard?
No.
Didn't see Sal Perry in the yard?
Nope.
Didn't see Michael Samperry in the yard?
No, I did not.
Didn't see your brother in the yard?
No, I did not. Well,
Were you
yes, I
looking
did.
for him?
I thought it was him.
I'm sorry?
I thought it was my brother, but that was Ryan Hines to the left,
You'd seen your brother earlier that night, correct?
briefly.
And he was wearing a white shirt, right?
Correct.
Ryan Hines was wearing a green hooded sweatshirt, correct?
Yes, that's what I was able to tell from the video. Yes.
I'm sorry?
That's what I was able to tell from the pictures. Yes.
But you thought that Ryan Hines in the green hooded sweatshirt was your brother in the white shirt.
Correct. I wasn't picking out what color clothes they were wearing. I did not think to take notes of that.
So, as best you recollect, it was just those 3 people in the yard facing the tube from the St. Joe's.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Was anybody blocking your view of things?
Of where they were?
Of
No.
what was in the yard?
No. Not where they were. No.
How close, when you came out, were Mr. DaSilva and Mr. Valle to the curb there, the road?
I can't tell how close they were to the road. That was their backside. So I'd be looking through 2 lines of people.
Well, you described for us where you saw them in one of the exhibits before. Do you recall doing that?
Yeah, I do.
How far into the yard were they?
Right by that bush.
Right by that red bush that you had
Do you want me to
described
point?
before?
To where?
The red bush?
Yes, the red bush of the exhibit sign up.
And you told us you stayed there until the fight broke out. And that was to the roadside of the left red bush, correct?
Can you repeat that?
Sure. They were Mr. DaSilva and Mr. Valle were to the roadside of the leftmost red bush. Do you recall describing that to us?
Can you pull up an exhibit so I can see what you're talking about?
Just a big one behind it.
States Exhibit 6 is what I'm showing you there. Is this the red bush that you're describing here, this one?
Yes, right. Yep.
And do you see this sort of debris field here in the front?
Yes.
And you see the curve here.
Yes.
How far is it from the curb to the red bush?
I don't know. 15 feet, 20 feet.
15 feet, 20 feet. How far into the yard were Mr. DaSilva and Mr. Valle?
I would say a little more than halfway to that bush.
So 7 to 10 feet in, if that bush is 15, 20 feet.
Yeah, in that range, yeah.
Halfway or so to that bush.
And they were standing close together, right?
Yes, they were.
And you could see their faces.
Yes.
You could see their hands.
Yes.
And did you see any weapons?
No, I did not see any weapons.
You didn't see Mr. Valle with the knife out, flashing it around?
Not in that moment, no.
Did you see Mr. DaSilva with any weapons?
No, I did not.
Did you see their hands?
Yes, I did.
Were they in fists?
They were by their side. I don't know if they were in fists or not.
They weren't raised.
Not until I saw the jolt.
And you said that they approached your friends, right?
Yes, they came onto the grass.
They came onto the grass. And you said initially they were just talking back and forth, right?
Yes.
And you described it, well, maybe it was arguing, right?
Talking and arguing, yeah.
And you were asked, was it peaceful? And you said, peaceful, I guess so, maybe. Do you recall that?
I recall saying that.
And that's what you saw that night, right? Mr. DaSilva was trying to talk with Mr. Rich.
It wasn't talking. It was not so peaceful as I described. Like they were arguing with each other face to face.
Okay, so it's not as peaceful as you described it?
Yeah, it was not. No,
Okay. So now it's your testimony that, in fact, it was not peaceful at all.
it didn't start off as immediately throwing hands, but they did walk up. There was talking before a fight.
What was the talking about?
I was 10 feet away. I was not listening.
You weren't listening?
No,
And then you said it looked as though Mr. Valle was going to do something. Do you recall that?
correct.
You told us that he cocked his right hand, right?
I didn't say cocked. I said he made a jolt like he was going to.
So you don't remember when the state's attorney asked you, he cocked his right hand and you agreed with that?
He jolted. He went back. He went like this.
He flinched.
No, he did not flinch. A
Can
flinch,
you-
a flinch is someone
You're
moves you.
showing your shoulder coming back.
Yes, like that. Like you're going to do something.
Was his hand in a fist?
I did not see that. No.
Who was close to him when he did that?
Ryan Heinz and Ty Wood.
Neither of them punched Mr. Valle, did they?
I didn't see who it was that punched him.
And again, at this point, your recollection is that there were only 3 people facing Mr. Valle and Mr. DaSilva, correct?
Yes, that's from my view. Yes.
Did you see Mr. Teal anywhere?
No.
Did you see Mr. Lokovich anywhere?
No.
Did you see anybody other than those 3?
No. Those are the only 5 people that I saw.
And then you said a Shelton High kid threw a punch, right?
Someone in that line. Yes.
In fact, that was Tyler Rich, right?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I didn't.
What blocked your view?
I just didn't see who it was. I said it came from the right side.
And that person threw that punch at Mr. Valle, correct?
Correct.
Knocked him down to the ground, correct?
Stumbled. Didn't fall to the ground.
He didn't fall to the ground?
No, that I saw. No.
Do you recall telling officers when you gave a statement to them that you saw Mr. Valle on the ground?
When he was stabbing me, yes, he was bent over as I described.
And you described not that he was bent over, that he was crawling on the ground, right?
He was on one knee coming towards me as I described with.
You told police officers that he was crawling on the ground, correct?
I do not recall.
And you told police officers that they were trying to start things, and one of them said, "We have a knife on us," right?
I don't recall saying that.
You don't recall telling that to officers Kozlowski, Inati, Muyo, and Bango on May 15th at 12:30 in the afternoon
No,
when
I
you were
don't.
at your parents' house?
No, I don't.
Do you recall them saying, one of them saying that they had a knife on them?
No, I don't recall that.
Do you recall telling officers that you all went over to help?
I don't recall that saying that exactly now.
Okay. You've told us that it was just you who went over to break this up, right?
Yeah, that's what I was engaged with. Yes.
Nobody else was with you when you went over to break
No,
this
I
up?
ran by myself. There could have been other people, but not with me. No.
And you described for us that you were able to just get in between the two of these folks and push Mr. Heinz away, right?
Yes, I pushed him down.
Then
to a
you
spot.
took his place.
Yes.
Nobody else around you at that point.
Not that I was thinking of. No.
Did you see anybody with a phone in their hand filming anything?
No.
Did you see anybody with a phone in their hand with the light on?
No.
Did you see Tanner Chernowski anywhere around?
No.
Did you see your brother Charlie anywhere?
I thought my brother was Ryan Heinz.
Okay, I understand that. Now you understand that he's not your brother. He was Ryan Heinz, right?
Correct.
Did you see your brother Charlie anywhere?
Not after that. No.
Can reorient myself to where we were. Okay. I think you had just told us that a Shelton High School kid threw a punch, but you can't recall who that person was, right?
Correct.
How far away were you from where the person threw the punch?
I was at the mulch pile, so 5 to 10 feet.
5 to 10 feet away.
Yeah, that's about that. From the.
You couldn't tell who it was that threw the punch.
No.
But you could tell that it was a Shelton High kid.
Yes, it was from someone's back. Their backside was towards me.
And you said that when you ran over to where Ryan Heinz and Raul Valle were fighting, that they were just tussling, right?
Yeah, they were fighting.
No full punches were going on.
Don't recall the specifics, but they were fighting.
And they were fighting on the ground, right?
I don't think so.
And you said at some point you took Mr. Heinz's place after you'd pushed them apart, right?
Correct.
And that you made eye contact with Mr. Valle, right?
Correct.
And in fact, when you described that to Officer Bango on July 9th, you told him that he stared into your soul and made creepy, demonic eye contact with you, correct?
Yes.
Demonic eye contact?
It was eye contact of someone who knew what they were going to do. It looked very unpleasant and very scary.
And then you said at some point the fight just stopped, right?
Yeah.
Do we see the fight just stop on that video?
No, it keeps going.
So this end of the fight where it just stopped, that occurred sometime after the end of the video, right?
When I referred to the fight just stopped, that's referring to when me and Raul have separated.
Okay. So after you and Mr. Valle separated, the fight continued, right?
Yes.
And who did you see involved in the fight at that point?
I don't recall seeing what happened after that point.
Did you see Faison Teal?
No, I did not.
Did you see Matthew Lockridge?
No, I did not.
Did you see Alex Burnson?
No, I did not.
Did you see Tanner Chernowski?
No, I did not.
Did you hear Tanner Chernowski?
No, I did not.
I'm going to ask you to watch what is labeled as States Exhibit 60. And if we can see the 25% with the frame numbers on them, please. Down in first seconds. And I may ask this to be paused at various points, okay? Yes. Pause right there. Do you see at frame 330 the person that you've described as Ryan Heinz?
Yes.
And is he the person to the left of the screen wearing the green sweatshirt and the black shorts with the white trim?
Yes.
Can you play it again, please? Just from where we are. Did you see rain falling through the course of that video?
Yeah.
Do you recall it being misty and rainy that evening?
Yes, I do.
Do we have the ability to go to certain frame numbers on there? Yeah. Okay. Can you take us to frame, just start at the beginning at frame 0? This is the very beginning of this video, correct?
Correct.
And in this video, I'm going to point that on this screen, your screen. Do you see the green sweatshirt, black shorts with white trim here to the right-hand side of the screen?
Yes.
See beside that, a pair of lighter colored shorts with a dark shirt on top.
I'm sorry. I can't see where you're pointing.
Sorry, just to the right of the person you've described as Ryan Heinz.
Yes, I can see that.
You can see that on your screen as well?
Yes.
Is that you?
No.
You were wearing a dark top and light shorts that day?
Yes.
And who is that?
That's not me.
How do you know that's not you?
It looks like there's a logo on the back of the shirt.
Okay. Can we go to frame 10, please? And I'm going to point here on this screen again. Do you see the green top, black shorts with white trim that you've identified previously as being Mr. Heinz?
Yes, I do.
And do you see the dark graphic on the back?
Yes.
Do you see beside that another person apparently wearing light shorts and the dark top?
Yes.
Is that you?
Not that I recall, no.
You recall telling us that you were close to Mr. Heinz, correct?
Yes, but before the video is when I had my interaction with him.
Before this video is when you had the interaction.
Yes.
And go to frame. We're going to have a little trouble zooming into that pinpoint. Okay, that's fine. Let's go with 16 there. Oh, okay. And do you see in frame 14, again, green, black shorts with white trim over to the right-hand side?
Yes, yes.
And do you now see two people with lighter shorts and dark tops, one of which has a graphic on the back, which does not appear to have a graphic on the back?
I see they both have graphics on the back.
When you say they both have graphics on the back, the farthest one to the right, do you believe that's a graphic?
Yes, it looks like a graphic to me.
What color shoes were you wearing that evening?
White.
Would you agree that these two people both appear to be wearing white shoes?
No.
No.
That looks like black.
Can we play through to frame 29? You pay particular attention to frames 25 and 29. Can you see the counter on?
Yes, I can.
You see from frame, here we are at 22, is there a way to make it progress frame by frame?
Oh.
Do you see now, okay, here we go. Let's stop there. Did you see those two people kicking their legs?
No.
No. Is there a way to slow it down? I just want to focus in on 25 to 29. Okay. Can we go back then to frame 79? Thank you. That's fine. Yes, thank you. Now, can you see this on your screen as well?
Oh, yes, I can.
And do you see sort of center left, again, Mr. Heinz, green top, black shorts, and white trim?
Yes, I see that.
And do you see this person with pants, top, and some sort of multicolored graphic on the back?
I can't see where you're pointing, sir.
To the right, sir.
You're talking about the, looks like long black pants, like the closest person?
So yes.
Can you point it again? Because I'm sorry, you're blocking my vision.
Do you
Really
have
no way for me to do so.
Do you have a pointer here?
Yeah.
Could you use it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you see this person right
Yes.
here with the dark pants and the white top and the multicolored graphic on the back?
Yes, I do.
Do you know who that is?
I cannot tell, no.
Where were you while this frame is being seen?
I believe I'm in the far back.
In the far back behind this group of people?
Yes, behind that, yes.
And you see Mr. Heinz here,
Correct.
and you believe at this point you'd already been stabbed.
Correct.
You believe Mr. Heinz has already been stabbed.
Correct.
Can we play forward to 112? You see a person on the ground here, Mr. Connery?
Yes, I do see that.
Do you believe that to be Tyler DaSilva?
I can't tell in this, but
Well, you described him before as wearing a blue baseball-style jersey, correct?
yes.
And can we play it to 135? Here we are at frame 135. You see the gentleman with the white shirt, multicolored graphic on the back, and the dark pants to the right?
Yes.
You see beside him a person with a dark shirt, light shorts, and some light shoes.
Yes, I do.
You see beside him another person, dark shirt, light shorts, white shoes.
Yes.
Would you agree that this person that we've just described in the dark shirt, light shorts, and white shoes is going to the left of the screen towards this altercation happening to the left?
Yes, it looks like that.
Would you agree that these other folks we described, these two on the right-hand side, they are participating in something that's going on to the right side of the screen?
Yes, they look like they're looking that way.
And do you see on the far left what we've already identified before as being Enrico Fiola holding a camera?
Yes.
And can we play that ahead to frame 182, please? This is frame 182. Would you agree that's the still shot that we've seen earlier when you were shown the exhibit? Easy for me to do. Would you agree?
Yeah, it looks similar to it, yes.
Right, because we see Enrico Fiola here again, right? He's looking towards the screen. We can see the light in his eyes.
Yes.
And he's again holding the camera, correct?
Correct.
And there's, again, this person on the ground, which I believe earlier you identified as being Tyler DaSilva.
Yes, that's him.
And that's Tyler DaSilva on the ground, correct?
Correct.
And then can we play it forward to ahead? I'm sorry, can you back that up maybe 180? Yep. And one more. There we go. And do you see here, again, Mr. Heinz with the black shorts, the white trim, and the green top?
Yes, I see him.
What is he doing there?
Standing over the kid on the ground.
Can we play that forward to 183? Sir, would you agree that he is kicking that person that is on the ground?
It looks like he's doing something.
Doing something, but you're not sure what.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
All right. Can we play that forward? And I'll just ask you when to stop. Thank you. Can you stop? Do you know who this gentleman is that's standing here in the front of the frame with the white shirt and looks like some sort of dark bottom?
It's hard to tell with the light on his face.
Can we play that forward just a little bit more? And again, stop, please. Any idea who that was?
It looks like someone named Alex Zaborek.
I'm sorry?
Alex Zaborek.
Alex Zaborek.
Yes.
Do you remember him being there that evening?
Yes.
Did you tell anybody about Alex Zaborek being there that evening?
No one was asking me about him.
No one's asked you about it. Can you play that forward again? Can you pause it there? We're at frame 332. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
And do you see here to the left, standing beside somebody with their camera out, Ryan Heinz with the white trim, black shorts, green top?
Yes, I see him.
Do you see Mr. DaSilva on the ground with his baseball jersey up over his head, hockey style?
Yes, I see that.
Do you see Alex Burnson leaning over him?
Yes, I see that.
Do you see Michael Sampieri also coming towards him?
Yes.
Is this your brother coming into the frame here from the right-hand side?
Yes, it looks like it.
Can we play that again forward ahead? And can we pause that? And do you see your brother being followed by this gentleman in the gray top with the dark shorts?
Yes.
Who did you tell us that was before?
Joey Romano.
Joey Romano. Did you tell anybody that Joey Romano was there that evening?
None.
You weren't asked.
No, and no, I was not asked.
Do you see this gentleman here with his shirt off and the dark colored, maybe camouflage shorts?
Yes.
That's Matthew Lakovich.
Correct.
And he's in a group, you would agree, with Mr. Romano and your brother.
Correct.
Can we play that forward again, please? Can you pause it, please? Do you see right behind Mr. Lakovich a person with white shorts and a dark top?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe that to be Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Can you play that forward again, please? There it is. And you see Mr. Heinz standing to the left of frame 400, correct?
Correct.
Green top, black shorts, white trim, correct?
Correct.
Jacob Villalobos shoving Mr. DaSilva, correct?
Correct.
You see the leg and part of the body of Mr. McGrath, correct?
Correct.
And he's standing in close proximity to this group that is shoving Mr. DaSilva away. You would agree?
Yes, somewhat close.
Can we play that forward, please? Can we pause it there, please? We're at frame 490 now. Can you see that?
Yes.
Where were you located when that was going on?
In the back area where I was that I was saying before, behind the crowd.
Still behind the crowd.
Correct.
Are you laying down at this point?
No, I was not.
What were you watching at this point?
I was just in shock and just staring off.
You still see Mr. McGrath here in frame 490, correct?
Correct.
Where were the rest of those people that were just with Mr. McGrath?
There to the left of him?
You could see them?
No, but just from the clip before.
You're inferring that they didn't just disappear.
No, they did not disappear.
I'm just going to hand this back to you.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, it was your testimony that, at least when you saw Mr. Heinz engage with Mr. Valle, that they were just tussling and there was no punches, correct?
They were tussling. I didn't see punches or anything else.
Did you see Mr. Heinz kick anybody?
No, I did not see him kick.
You didn't see him punch anybody?
I didn't see punches.
Did you see him tackle anybody?
It wasn't tackling. It was just tussling. I don't know how to exactly describe it, but they were going at each other.
And after you claim to have separated them, did you see Mr. Heinz go and do any of the things that we just saw there on the video?
No, I was not looking for that.
You couldn't see any of that.
No, I was not looking for it.
Did you see Faison Teal stomping anybody?
No, I was not looking for him.
And it's your claim or your recollection that you were stabbed even before the video started.
Correct.
And it's your claim that there were only 3 people involved in the fighting.
From what I saw, from what I was looking at, the angle I was at, yes.
And that most people are just sitting watching.
From my point of view, correct.
You were dressed similarly to Mr. McGrath that evening?
Different color shorts and a no logo shirt.
Dark top?
Yes.
No logo on your shirt?
Nope.
White shoes?
Correct.
Light gray shorts?
Correct.
All of the kids that were there at that party that night, other than the kids who showed up in the pilot, were very close friends of yours, were they not?
Oh, yeah, they were, I wouldn't say super close. Some were closer than others, but they were friends of mine, yes.
Many of them you had grown up with since childhood, correct?
Correct.
You would get together almost every weekend over at Mr. Rich's house, correct?
Not at his house, but we would get together with everybody every weekend, different places.
Different places, but engage in a similar sort of party wherever those places were, correct?
Not every weekend, but here and there, there'd be something to do.
And when you would get together, there would typically be drinking, you told us.
It depended on the situation.
And you wouldn't want to see your friend's reputation or memories be harmed in any way, would you?
No.
After watching that video the way we just watched it, does that change your recollection of anything that you've told us?
No. What I remember is what I remember.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Thank you.
Hey, Tom.
How's it going?
Council just asked you about this video.
Correct.
This is frame 252. Do you know who that is by the car?
Yeah, that's Raul Valle.
You didn't see that, right?
No.
You know that now.
Yeah, I know it now.
You play the video. Stop. And frame 287 on the ground, that's Tyler DaSilva, right?
Correct.
But you didn't actually see that at the time of the video, right?
No.
Now, frame 397, who is this individual starting to push Tyler DaSilva out into the street?
Jacob Villalobos.
Now, frame 416, who is that stumbling out towards the street?
Towards the street is Tyler DaSilva.
Who's directly behind him?
Raul Valle.
Do you remember that happening on the night?
No.
And who is this individual standing by himself right here on the left side of the frame?
The one with his arm right
Yes.
there? That's Jimmy McGrath.
And was it at this point that you looked over and you saw Jimmy McGrath stabbed?
No, no.
Say, please. No. Who's standing out in the street all by himself in frame 453?
Tyler DaSilva.
That's not the defendant right there?
No, that's not the defendant.
Please. Now, this individual on frame 489, who is this right here?
I'm sorry, you're blocking
Frame 489 on the left side of the frame.
That's Jimmy McGrath.
Standing all by himself?
That's what it looks like.
Do you remember seeing this happen May 14th of 2022?
I saw him standing by himself, but after they drove away.
Please play. Frame 533. Do you see Mr. McGrath?
Yes, I do.
What does he appear to be doing at this moment?
He's backing up away from something.
Did you see that happen on May 14th?
No, I didn't see that.
Who is next to Mr. McGrath in this frame?
Tyler DaSilva.
So you remember certain things happening that night, but not everything that you saw in the video.
Yes.
So at what point in time do you remember seeing Mr. McGrath after you realized you're stabbed?
So after I realized I was stabbed, they have already driven off, and actually he was standing somewhere near where he is in this video. And that's when I saw him stabbed and fall to the floor.
So
He pulled up his shirt, there's blood, and he just dropped.
now, counsel asked you a little bit about you giving a statement to the police about the defendant making eye contact with you just prior to him coming towards you and hitting you in the leg, right?
Correct.
Describe why you said what you said.
Because the way he looked me in the eyes, no one's ever looked at me that way before. And it was, now when I think about it, the punches that I thought were being punches was someone who looked at me knowing what they were going to do.
When he looked at you, is that the moment that he came towards you?
Yeah, we made eye contact and then we engaged.
So describe how, when he made eye contact with you, how he engaged you.
He was on a little like bent over, as I described before. He looked me up right into the eyes, and I looked at him, and then he came right at me with the leg, and that's when he was doing the hooking motion into my leg.
And when he came at you, what was your reaction to that?
I immediately was doing the thing, get off, like this.
And when counsel asked you, the fight just stopped. What did that mean? The fight just stopped. It didn't just stop.
Me and him had our separation, and then that's when I stood there in that back, just looking around in shock.
And when you were in shock, what were you doing? Were you focusing on what was happening?
I think
you?
I don't recall exactly what was happening around me because my body was just telling me like, you're hurt, like figure out yourself. So I was just sitting there, standing.
Were you engaged in who was around you and taking notes on all your friends around you?
Not at all.
So when counsel asked you, was Matt Lockovich there? And you said you can't recall. Why did you say you couldn't recall?
Because that night I was not thinking, where is Matt Lockovich right now at this moment?
And when he asked you where Mike Samperi was at any particular moment, why weren't you?
I wasn't thinking, where is Michael Samperi?
And how about where your brother was?
I thought I already had pulled my brother out.
And what about where Jimmy McGrath was?
I wasn't thinking, where is Jimmy McGrath right now?
And how about any of your other friends that have been mentioned?
Not a
during
single
your
person I was thinking about, no, not where they are.
So with regards to when counsel asked you about when the car initially drives up and people say someone's out in the front yard or the car's here and you walk out into the driveway, but you stand at about, I think, 30 feet away. How many people were around you that were from the Shelton party?
Like I said, there was 10 people in the driveway around me,
How
about
many people were close to the car?
another 10.
And at that moment, were you taking notes about who was to the right of you, who was to the left of you?
Not at all.
Why weren't you taking note of that?
Because I was taking note of who were the people that were not supposed to be here in the car.
Where was your main focus at that point in time?
The people in the car.
And with regards to when you go back into the house and then you come back out a second time, remember when you just testified on cross that the car was down the street and
Yeah.
you come down the tree line area?
Correct.
So I think your testimony, this is State's Exhibit 49. Testimony is you were somewhere down near the second red bush towards the street,
Yeah, correct.
down the street. You remember what counsel asked you about? Do you recall Faison Teal was in the yard at that time?
Yes, I remember that.
Do you remember what your response was?
No, I did not see him. I do not recall seeing him.
Why didn't you see Faison there?
I wasn't in the yard. Hey, where's Faison Teal? Thinking that.
But was Faison Teal at Tyler Rich's house?
Yeah, he was at the party, yes.
You just can't recall whether or not he was in the yard at that particular moment?
No, I cannot recall.
Could he have been at the yard?
Sure, he could have been, yes.
Maybe you didn't see him?
Wasn't looking for him.
So with regards to anybody that may have been around you, in addition to Faison Teal, again, was your focus on your friends around you or what was happening down the street?
I was looking down the street. I wasn't thinking who's next to me in this moment.
Do you know where that picture was taken?
Yes, I do.
Where was that picture taken?
Mr. DeJesus's house?
You didn't take that picture, right?
No,
How do you know that this is Mr. DeJesus?
I've been over there before.
And when you say Mr. DeJesus, who are we talking about?
The father, the person who owns the house.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. DeJesus has any children?
Yes, he does.
And who are his children?
He has 3 boys and 1 daughter.
And are you friends with any of the
Yeah.
children? Who are you friends with?
DeJesus through my brother, and then Joey DeJesus because he's older than me.
And was any of those individuals at Tyler Rich's house?
Yeah, Nikki was.
Nikki was?
Yeah.
So when you're referring to Mr. DeJesus, who's 50-something years old, you're talking about the father, not the son.
Yeah, the father.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I have no further questions.
You were just asked about when you had been out in the driveway looking across the way. There were 10 of you in the driveway, you recall, and another 10 across the street with the car, correct?
Correct.
And you told us you were just focused on who was in the car that wasn't supposed to be there, correct?
Correct.
And that's why you didn't see anybody rocking that car, correct?
Correct.
That's why you didn't see anybody put their hands on that car, correct?
No, I did not see that.
That's why you didn't see anybody throw anything at that car, correct?
No, I did not see that.
That's why you didn't see any of your friends do anything to that car that night, correct? Because
No, I did
you
not
were
see
just
that.
focused on who was in that car.
Correct. I was
So
in it.
focused that from 30 feet away, you could tell us, despite the 10 people being in front of you, that Jack Snyder was the driver and Mr. Valle was a passenger, right?
Yeah, I had a sight on them. I looked at them, and that's what I acknowledged.
Thank you. Nothing further.
When you noticed the defendant and Jack Snyder in the car, did you hang out there the whole time or did you make your way back into the
No, I went inside.
Okay, so you didn't stay outside the entire time during
No, there was already so many people out there. I didn't need to be out there.
No further questions.
Nothing further.